after a 5-week break, we are back in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine, and this time we are in Spa. Qualifying practice 1 is about to get underway, and it is spitting with rain out there, so this is going to be a very fast and furious start to the session. Just speaking to the drivers, I was walking up. My name's Chris McCarthy. As ever, it's a great pleasure to be here to call the action for you, but as I was walking up the paddock to come and get into position, drivers were definitely very concerned with the weather, and Gabriele Mini, I had a quick chat to him and he was saying the first few minutes to the session could be very, very critical as to who takes pole position. Well, there you can see the cars are lined up ready to go. 33 drivers on the grid. We are just having some gravel being cleared up at the top of the circuit at the moment at Les Combes, so we could have a couple of minutes until we get underway, and that will give us a little bit of time to talk about some of the changes we have had in the break that we have had to the championship in terms of drivers who have had to step away, drivers who have come in, and drivers who have swapped teams as well. So some new faces to the championship for this round. Dexter Patterson, the 17-year-old Scottish driver, he is going to jump in. He's here doing BRDC British F3, and he's also going to be with Monolite Racing for this round in place of Yassin Ferrati. Yassin, though, will still be here. We'll come on to him a little later. Ido Cohen joins us for the rest of the season. You'll know Ido from racing in the FIA F3 Championship. Ido Cohen is going to come and race with us for the rest of the season. He will be with JD Motorsport. Patrick Pasma has stepped across to ART, leaving KRC Motorsport. Of course, that's because Thomas Ten Brink, who has decided after Zandvoort that he's going to step away from racing in Tyre, and we all do wish, on behalf of the championship, we all wish Thomas Ten Brink the best for the future. It was really sad to see him walk away, but it was a decision he felt he had to make, and we all do wish him the best. Thomas, if you're watching, we do miss you, mate, and we hope you're doing well. Replacing Patrick Pasma at KIC is Yassin Ferrati, so he stepped across from Monolite to KIC Motorsports. Also not here at this round is Brad Benavides. Sadly, he's not going to be with us this weekend. Hope you're doing well, Brad, if you are tuning in. No Belen Garcia either as well, so Belen not with us, and Alessandro Fangulero has also left the championship as well. So with some drivers swapping around, with some drivers in, with some drivers out, we are left with 33 on the grid. They were out testing on Wednesday, and they were also out testing yesterday as well. All of those sessions were done in dry conditions. On Wednesday, it was Gregor Sorsi who was quickest with a 2:15.206. I doubt we're going to see times like that this morning. Michael Belov was second, Franco Colapinto third, then it was Isaac Hajar, Patrick Pasma, Gabriele Mini, Hadrian David, David Vidalis, Dino Begnovic, and Zane Maloney were your top 10. Dexter Patterson, who came in, was 17th, an impressive entry for him. But of course, those results mean nothing. They were out yesterday for testing as well. Michael Belov went quickest in the first session with a 2:14.518 from Gregor Sorsi, and Hadrian David, Franco Colapinto was up there in fourth as well, and he is one of the two drivers who won here last year that are back here this weekend. The other is Alex Quinn, so those two definitely ones to watch. And going quickest in the second session was Michael Belov again from Gregor Sorsi, and Zane Maloney was fourth in that one with a 2:15.7. So the quickest time actually came from that first practice session yesterday, and that was from Michael Belov with a 2:14.518. That's engines fired up. This is going to set the grid for tomorrow's race. So we are going to be out 3 times in total today. We're going to have 2 qualifying sessions, and then we are also going to have a race a little later on as well, much later on. So plenty of race action coming to you today. And the cars are just making their way out onto the circuit now. We'll go through the championship standings in just a little while, but in terms of the timetable for today, we are going to be out at 4:45 for qualifying practice 2. And at 15 minutes past 7 is when we're going to go live, local time here in Belgium for race number 1. Cars are going out onto the track, of course. One thing that's going to be crucial here is going to be a tow. There's Patrick Pasma now in the ART colours leading the way. Your championship standings as the drivers get themselves sorted out and get their tyres up to temperature. You'll see the clock towards the top 20-minute session. This is going to be Gregor Saucy currently in a very comfortable lead. He's just had 3 wins in the championship. The last time he had a hat-trick of wins, which was across Imola and Barcelona. He then scored no points the following round. I wonder if that curse will come back to haunt him again this weekend. But because of that, he's in a comfortable lead of 64 points from Hadrian David in second, who leads a very close fight for second in the standings. That's Gabriele Mini there in the 46, just having to go a little more to the inside than he would have liked to. Isaac Hadjar is your top rookie in third place. Then it is Zane Maloney on 91 points, Isaac Hadjar on 93. Paul Aron is on 90 points in fifth. Gabriele Mini, the second of the rookies, is on 89 points. So there is less than 7 points there between second down to sixth place. Then it's Alex Quinn on 79 points. William Alatalo is next on 70. David Vidales is their ninth in the championship on 52. And Patrick Pasma, 10th place on 45 points, but he could definitely be one to watch. Now, like I said, it is spitting with rain, so one thing they're all going to want is to get a lap in nice and early. And leading the way in the number 5 is Patrick Pasma, along with his ART teammate there behind him of Gabriele Mini. There's Isaac Hadjar. He's the top rookie in the standings so far for RSGP, and has been snapped up as well by Red Bull. He's going to be a Red Bull junior driver from next year officially as they make their way into the chicane. Patrick Pasma just allowing Gabriele Mini to come through. They're all going to want a tow, and that's what Mini was saying to me, and that's why we're seeing them fight like they are. They're trying to get the tyres up to temperature as well. I think they're probably going to want one more lap of getting tyre temperature before they really go for it. To the right of picture there in the red and white Prema colours is David Vidales just trying to get himself up to speed. Now you can see them all slowing up, coming through the chicane up towards Eau Rouge we go. Incredible sight to see them going up there, particularly when we go racing as well. Just over 15 minutes in the session to go. One thing you don't want to do is bin it early, and David Vidal is having a little bit of a wobble there, but getting some clear track out front is Gabriele Mini. One thing he did say to me was that he did want to tow, and I wonder if we're going to see him back off come the end of the lap. Hadrian David there in the number 10, despite doing so well in the championship, he's yet to take a pole position so far this season. Let's see if he can change that this weekend. Huge consistency from him all season, even when he's qualified badly. He took a 12th, you'll remember, at Barcelona, gaining 22 places. Oh dear, that's Goethe, sadly, who has ended his first qualifying session nice and early. Now, that looks like there's been some contact there. Let's have a look what happened. Well, that's the end of what happened, and that looks like that is session over for Oliver Goethe. Oh, and a couple more following him off there. That's the number 7 of Axel Noss, who I don't think picked up any damage, but certainly had some sort of a spin. And the number 33 also getting involved in that as well, it looked like. So couple of incidents already in the early stages. Number 33 is Ido Cohen, and that's going to lead us into a full course yellow. So Ido Cohen, one of the new faces coming in, and we'll get used to seeing him for the rest of the season. And it's early work for MP Motorsport, sadly. So that's going to leave Goethe in a very difficult position for qualifying tomorrow. So we're being put under full course yellow. Goethe walking away from the car, head down, really, really disappointed. Well, that's going to mean qualifying for him later is going to be absolutely critical. Oliver Goethe, so far this season, has had a pretty good year. He did score points at the very first round, and he scored points for the second time this season at the last round, where he finished in 10th place. So he just seemed to be picking his form back up again. But the MP Motorsport driver has found himself in a very difficult position for the race tomorrow. The good thing about this championship is you get a qualifying for each race. Now, MP Motorsport are definitely going to be a team to watch, and that man there, the number 43 in the orange and blue colours, Franco Colapinto, like I said, won here last year, along with the Arden Motorsport driver Alex Quinn, who's in the 21. There's his teammate Nicola Marinangeli, who finally had a weekend where he finished both races. But going back to MP Motorsport, they have won here for the last 3 years in a row, and they are the most successful team here when it comes to Formula Renault, Formula Regional history. So they are going to want to continue that form coming into this weekend. They know how to win here. They won last year here with Franco Colapinto. The year before they won with Lorenzo Colombo. The year before that they won with Christian Lundgaard. That was back in 2018. RHGP are another team who go well here. They won here in 2019 with Oscar Piastri. They won here in 2018 with Victor Martins. They're going to want to add to those this weekend. But it's not going to be Oliver Goethe who does it for them tomorrow, at least. But Franco Colapinto, like I said, went very well in practice, took a 4th place, and he finally got his season going at the last round. Took a 5th and then a 2nd, took his first podium. Given he was 4th in the Formula Renault Eurocup last year, many expected him to be challenging for the title. He's right there in the middle of your screens, just making his way down towards the chicane, and we've got a red flag. So all the cars are going to be coming back into the pit lane now, and that is going to reduce our qualifying section by 6.5 minutes, and it's going to allow more time for the rain to start falling down as well. Now, Voss, some of the guys to keep an eye on the weather for me, but red flag is out. We'll take a look at try and dissect exactly what happened here. So there's a static Oliver Goethe, and then we've got an Axel Noss going off, and we've got Ido Cohen just taking avoiding action. I think Axel is okay, but we did go under full course yellow, but now we're going to go into a red flag situation. While we are under red flag, you may have seen over the last 24 hours, 48 hours even, that sadly the news has come out that the next round of the championship has now been cancelled. We were due to be at the Nurburgring in 2 weeks' time, but due to the tragic floods that took place there over the last couple of weeks, sadly that round is being cancelled. Our thoughts with all of those here at the championship to those affected, and it's somewhat of a miracle that even this round was due to go ahead. But the safety crews in both areas doing very good jobs, and the Nürburgring is actually being used as a base camp for the rescue services over in Germany. But there will be a release over the next few weeks, an update as to where we will go in terms of a replacement round for the Nürburgring. It seems some of the teams feel it's time for wet tyres. Umbrellas are up and jackets are on, so it seems the rain is probably just picking up in intensity a little. Gabriel Bortoletto, so he's got a brolly up over him as well. Let's talk about Gabriel Bortoletto while we are on him. The Brazilian driver there, he started his season with a 9th place, did absolutely brilliantly. Since then, he's had a bit of an up and down season, not really been able to get that top 10 form that he displayed at the first round. At the last round, he finished 17th and 18th. A couple of drivers that are definitely ones to watch out for this weekend. Drivers who went very well at the last round. Francesco Pizzi, given he started the season just about getting inside the top 20, he slowly worked his way up the order. He took a 12th place at Monaco, and then we went to Zandvoort, and he took a 13th and then a 5th. Had an absolutely brilliant weekend. Another driver who picked up good form was Kaz Habacourt as well. Like I said, he's one of the MP Motorsport drivers, one of the two who's avoided any problems at the start of this session. 6th place for him at the last round, and that was his best result of the season on home soil as well. Now, here we're just a few minutes away now from getting this session back underway. There you can see the Arden Motorsport team getting to work on Nicola Marinangeli's car. Alexandre Bardin, you're on there. last round, he got a 26th and a 27th. He's still waiting for his breakthrough result this season, but Alexandre Bardignon, I commentated on him here last year, albeit in another series, and this was his best round of the championship at this circuit. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes this weekend. Engines are being fired, and it's a race up towards the end of the pit lane as the green lights are on. So we are officially back underway, albeit on wet tyres now. Now, they haven't done any wet running at all so far this weekend. So this is going to be very, very interesting indeed. And for a lot of these drivers, particularly the rookies who have come up from Italian F4, so the likes of Gabriele Mini, the likes of Gabriel Bortoletto, Francesco Pizzi, and so Dino Begnovic likewise, have not raced at this circuit before. When I was looking into who's going to be here for the first time, there was a huge number of drivers who came up as making their debut at Spa. Gabriele Mini, one of them. Mari Boyer, likewise, also going to be one making his debut. Andrea Rosso, I could go on and on. Dino Begnovic, another one. Also, Elias Seppänen is here for the first time. Pietro Deli Guanti as well, who had a really good last round. Lorenzo Fluxa, who seemed to be gaining confidence at the last round. Axel Noss, so that makes his off even more understandable. Nico Gola as well. Lena Bula also here for the first time, and she recently turned 24 years old as well, did Lena Bula. Work still going on in the pit lane to some cars, but a lot of them are back out there. So this is going to be now down to the drivers who have the experience. This is where they're going to really come into hand. And we saw the number 26 briefly there of Gregor Sorsi, who has raced here before. Finished on the podium here last season as well, and it was only one of 2 podiums he took that season. So Gregor Sorsi likes this circuit, and he probably knows it in wet conditions as well. Took 11th and 3rd place last year in the Formula Renault Euro Cup, the race that supported the Spa 24 Hours, which takes place next weekend. Now, we're still having work going on to Yassin Ferrati's car, the KIC Motorsport team going to work there. Just checking pressures before they send him back out again. Of course, we have lost Oliver Gerf, sadly, from this session. Other drivers did pick up some damage, but other than that, it looks like we're all back away. And Gregor Sorsi, it's going to be coming up to the line first. This isn't going to be a lap time set, of course, because he has been in the pit lane, but he will start his first flyer, and that will give us a reference point as to what lap times they are going to be chasing. If the flag was to fly now, Patrick Pasman would take pole, but we have over 10 minutes still to go in this session, and Gregor Sorsi is going to get us underway. We're expecting it to rain later on as well. This is the weather we should expect for qualifying practice 2 later, which will set the grid for the first race. This is setting the grid for tomorrow, where again the conditions are going to be a little bit touch and go. But we are in Belgium, so what else can we expect? And we are in Spa, of course, as well, as they make their way up Eau Rouge. Must be frightening as a young 16, 17-year-old going up there for the first time in the wet ever. Up towards Lake Hume they go. Gregor Sorsi, we are looking at, just goes past the number 13 of Yassin Ferrati there, just currently out of the pit lane. He's on his out lap. Oliver Gerther is the only driver, sadly, who we're not going to be seeing going round for the remainder of the session. But for even drivers like Dudu Barrichello, who's racing in Europe for the first time this year, this is going to be a real challenge for him. It's a long lap as well. 2 minutes and 14 is the quickest we've seen so far this weekend. That is in the dry conditions. In the wet is going to be a different story altogether, as Gregor Sorsi now makes his way down towards Pouhon for the first time since the restart. Let's see what he gets on the board for us in terms of sector times. He's done just having a look down, he's done a 43.5. Patrick Pasma isn't actually far off that as well, but Zane Maloney looks to be the quickest of all of them. He's done a 43.3, so Zane Maloney in the number 22 RSGP car going very well out there on this first lap. As we continue to follow Gregor Sorsi, just coming through Stavolo now, makes his way through the right-hander and up towards Blanchimont, 156.9 through the first two sectors, so he did a 113.4 through that second sector. That's the quickest we've seen so far by some time. Going quite quick is Mari Boyer as well, a little bit down the field. Also William Alatalo going pretty quickly as well. Let's get them as they come across the line though. Let's get Gregor Sorsi across the line first and get a reference point on the board as he makes his way now down into the chicane. Wide line into the left, open up the corner as much as possible, straighten up the car, helps with the acceleration, and Gregor Sorsi up to the line he goes, and he is going to do a 2:37.6, and that's our first official lap time on the board. And those red flags came out at a perfect time really, because we had only had one lap completed by all the drivers, and it was not quick enough to go anywhere near what we just saw. So the red flags came out at the perfect time really, and that meant Gregor Sorsi could go out on those wet tyres and do that time he's just done. But Zane Maloney has gone quicker, 2:37.5 in the number 22. We pick up the FA Racing driver of Andrea Rosso here, making his way up towards the chicane. So Zane Maloney has gone top, Sorsi has gone second, then is Colapinto in third, Mini fourth, Hajar David, Francesco Pizzi is up to 7th place, then it's Sepinen, Pasma is 9th, Quinn is in 10th place, Tommy Smith currently in 11th place. We're still waiting for the rest of the field to set lap times. Franco Colapinto has gone to 3rd. Andrea Rosso, who we're watching, has gone wide at the chicane, so that's going to destroy his lap time completely. But Franco Colapinto has just made his way up into 3rd place. Here come the FA Racing drivers. So we are looking at the likes of Gabriel Bortoletto, who's going to come across the line first, and Bortoletto is going to be in 15th place. Here is Hadrian David we pick up now. Behind him is Franco Colapinto. Definitely one to watch this weekend, like we've said, and he's using Hadrian David just to follow around so far. Those two fairly evenly matched at the last round. It's getting very tricky out there now, isn't it? The rain really picking up in intensity and drivers struggling to stay on the circuit. With the rain getting heavier, I wonder if those lap times we've just saw is going to be the quickest we see all session, because with the rain coming down like it is, as I'm looking out the window, I don't see us improving on those times. So that could be a pole position for Zane Maloney, just like we saw at Monaco, because Franco Colapinto is going slower on this lap, and sadly he's made a mistake at Pool 1. He's picked up the curb and he's gone round. So Colapinto, he was 2/10 off through that first sector. And no one is going quicker. The only driver who's going quicker is Alexandre Bardignon through the first sector. Patrick Pasma is going a little quicker. There you can see, as soon as you hit the painted areas, you're just going to go round, and that's what's happened to Colapinto there. Currently, he's in 4th place in this session. Dudu Barrichello looks like he's going slightly quicker as well. Also, Patrick Pasma, Isaac Hadjar, Hadrian David is going a little quicker too. Zane Maloney is also going quicker, just over 5 minutes to go. There's the number 8 of William Alatalo. Here's Zane Maloney, your provisional pole sitter, makes his way out of the chicane. Gregor Sorsi has already come across the line and he's not gone quicker. Maloney makes his way up to the line and he goes quicker. So the track, there is room for improvement out there on this lap. That's what that tells us. That time from Zane Maloney, 2:36.9. Mari Boyer has gone up to 3rd place, the rookie in the number 64. Hadrian David has just stolen that 3rd place from him though, so more changes going on there. Isaac Hadjar has come up to 5th place. Francesco Pizzi is up to 9th place as well. Here's Gregor Sorsi. He's currently going to be on the outside of the front row. He makes his way through the first sector and he's gone slower through that first sector. Dudu Barrichello, we said he was improving. He's come up to 11th place with his time. Aaron is in 10th place. Pasma 12th, then it's Sepinen. We've just had Dexter Patterson, the rookie, the stand-in for this round. Dexter Patterson has gone into 11th place in the number 55. the wildcard putting in an absolutely fantastic lap there. Bortoletto has come up to 15th place, Gola is 17th, Rosso is up to 18th, then it's Smith, Havicourt currently rounding out your top 10. We're yet to see times from Ido Cohen, Lorenzo Fluxa, and I don't know what's going on with Michael Belov, but the driver who was quickest overall through practice currently hasn't really got a time on the board, so I'm not too sure what's going on with Michael Belov, but as it stands, he's going to start the race tomorrow from dead last on the grid, as we've just seen David Vidales put his car up onto the front row. Brilliant lap from David Vidales. Really needed a good result this weekend as well. He'd had a dip in form, but it seems that 5 weeks away from the circuit is really paying off for him. But Gregor Sorcy is going quicker through this second sector as he makes his way now up towards Blanchimont and through the chicane. He's got Gabriele Mini ahead of him, who's currently in 10th place. Dudu Barrichello, by the way, is up to 7th. It seems we're having lap times being deleted left, right and centre. We've currently just had Yassin Ferrati's lap time be deleted. That's moving Ido Cohen up the order, it's moving Barrichello up the order, it's moving Mari Boyer up the order as well. 3 minutes left on the clock. They're going to have this lap and one more as they come up to the line. Gregor Sorcy, he's got a 2:36.7 to beat as Gabriele Mini goes pole and Sorcy goes to pole as well. So the two ART drivers come across the line and snatch pole position away from each other. So Sorcy currently due to take another pole position. Mini in second, but here comes Zane Maloney. Looks like he's going slower on this lap and he's going to stay in third place. Vidales is in fourth. Alatalo comes across the line. No improvement from him. Here comes Alex Quinn up to the line now. He's going to be in 17th place, so an improvement of a few positions. Hadrian David goes up to 5th in the number 10 there. Number 15 coming up to the line, but I don't think we saw any improvement there. Here's David Vidales now making his way through the final chicane. Seems he's going slower on this lap. He makes his way up to the line to start his final lap of this qualifying session, and he managed to pick up a lot of time through the last sector because he's put his car onto the front row of the grid. Brilliant stuff there from Vidales. Kaz Havicourt, I think, is going quicker on this lap as well, and he is currently in 6th place, so no huge improvement from him. Pietri Deligoanti just goes through our picture there. He's currently down in 26th place. Bortoletto across the line goes up into 18th place. Rosso across the line goes to 19th place. Getting heavier and heavier out there, isn't it? As Gregor Sorcy should get to the end of this lap and be able to get one more in as well. So your top 10, let's take a quick breath. It is Sorcy, Vidales, Mini, Maloney, David, Havicourt, Hajar, Boyer, Cohen up to 9th place, and then it is Colapinto. It would be an 8th pole position of the season for Gregor Sorcy if he could go and take it. But his teammate ahead of him, one of several drivers. Oh dear, we've had a Nicola Marinangeli just getting in the way there of Sorcy, and that's his lap time destroyed. He might be able to make it to the line in time to get one more in. But Gabriele Mini ahead of him is going quicker on this lap. Sorcy is quickest by 0.6 of a second. 1.3 back then is Gabriele Mini. The conditions creating a huge spread in the field. We have 2.5 seconds between the top 10. There's Kaz Havicourt going through our picture. Here's Deligoanti with Hajar and Maloney hot on his heels behind him. Zane Maloney making his way up through Blanchimont now, and he's going quicker on this lap as well. Also going quicker is Mini. Also going quicker is Hadrian David, but Zane Maloney has run wide there. I wonder if that's going to come into effect come the end of the session, because David Vidales has actually just had a lap time deleted as Gabriele Mini has gone up onto the front row there. So the young 16-year-old puts his car second on the grid, and the checker flag is flying, so these are going to be your last laps. Maloney, one last chance to try and take pole position, but doesn't look like he's improved. Alatalo sneaks into the top 10 in the number 8 at the bottom of your picture there. Hajar has gone up to 7th place. Are we going to see any more changes? Yes, Hadrian David goes to 4th place as he comes across the line now. What about in the background? Quinn is going to be in 14th place. Francesco Pizzi there in the bottom of your picture. He goes up into 8th place. Colapinto has gone 7th. Seppänen has now gone up to 8th place. That's Seppänen, one driver. All that's letting him down this season is qualifying, and that is exactly what he needed. He needed a top 10 to get his first points of the season, or his second points finish of the season, shall I say. David Vidal is across the line there. He's going to be third place. I've just seen Dexter Patterson go up to ninth place, so the wild card has put himself into the top 10. He won't score points this weekend though, and that's crucial to remember. We're watching Gabriele Mini, who's got one last opportunity to try and take pole position. He hasn't gone quicker through the first sector, but there's still plenty of time in this lap to go. We're still waiting for Maloney to come across the line. It looked like he made it across just before the checkered flag, as did Kaz Havercourt as well, but neither of them are improving on this lap. Gregor Saucy not far from improving on this lap. We're following him as he makes his way out down to the chicane. So currently it's going to be Saucy with an 8th pole from Mini in second. Vidal is David Maloney as Aron gets up into 7th place. That's a crucial result for Paul Aron there to get himself up the field, and Michael Belov has just gone up to 11th place. So that's a crucial result for Michael Belov, who is all the way down the back of the order, but he's just put himself just within the, just outside of the top 10, right at the flag there. We go back to Gregor Saucy, who's trying to secure that pole position, makes his way up towards the chicane. Mini is ahead of him though. Let's wait to see him across the line and see if he improves. Saucy comes through the chicane. Mini up to the line now. He only needs to find a 10th of a second, and he can't find it. No improvement from Gabriele Mini. Saucy comes across the line. He doesn't improve, but that should be good enough to take pole position. We still have a couple of drivers to come across the line. Marin Angeli makes his way up to the line. 28th place for him. Patrick Pasma across the line goes 13th place, and Havercourt doesn't go any quicker. He's 6th. Maloney doesn't go quicker either. He is 5th place. So it's an 8th pole position for Gregor Saucy. He will start tomorrow's race from the head of the field. Just 1/10 of a second between him and Gabriele Mini. Well, what a qualifying session to get us underway. Let's confirm the results. Gregor Saucy is pole. Gabriele Mini is 2nd place. Vidales is 3rd place. Then it's Hadrian David in 4th. Zay Maloney is in 5th place. Kaz Havercourt is in 6th place. Paul Aron in 7th place. Great result out from Kaz. It's got to be one of his best qualifying results. Franco Colapinto in the top 10. That's definitely a best qualifying from Seppen. And then it's Patterson, Belov, Boyer, Pasma, Fluxa, Pizzi, Hajar, Alatalo. And we have Cohen, Barrichello, Bortoletto, Quinn. Disappointing result for him. Then Smith, Begnovich, Rosso, Gola, Pesh. Then we have Deligoanti, Marinangeli, Nos, Bardignon, Bula, Ferrati. And of course, we lost Oliver Goethe at the start of the session. Well, let's take a look back at some highlights from the session. Took long to complete overall, didn't it? We did start with slick tyres on the cars, and it was a race to get out of the pit lane because everyone knew the rain was on its way. But as they all raced up Eau Rouge and down the Kemmel Straight, some of them began just to race a little bit too hard, and it wasn't long before we saw people running off the circuit. Vidales was one of the first to do so, and that would be one of the many track limit penalties we have, with lap times being deleted all over the place. And then the racing came too hard, drivers pushing too hard, and we lost Oliver Goethe from the session. Axel Noss managed to get going, but Goethe was out. MP Motorsport, the most successful team here, hugely disappointed. Cars came back into the pit lane, and as they did, the rain started to fall even heavier. That would have been how the session ended in terms of the lap times if they made it across the line, but the full course yellow followed by the red flags meant that the rain came and the wet tyres went on, and Gregor Saucy, like we've seen him do all season, just took control of the session. Franco Colapinto, whilst on a good lap, had a spin, and he'll look back on that one with huge frustration, I'm sure. David Vidales at one stage had put his car onto the front row of the grid, but as all drivers tried, Zay Maloney sat in pole position for a while. It would be Gregor Saucy who takes pole position, and he will start the second race from tomorrow from the head of the field.